morning, Meridian, and welcome to Business Buzz. My name is Sean Evans, and welcome to our social media program where we interview chamber members in the virtual space. We have a programming change this morning. We were scheduled to bring you a sneak peek inside the new Costco wholesale opening in Meridian. But due to unforeseen circumstances, Costco's appearance on Business Buzz must be rescheduled. We'll let you know the new date of the Costco sneak peek and other great things that we had lined up for our members and the Meridian community. Remember, Business Buzz asks for about 10 to 15 minutes of your day every episode to introduce you to a chamber member and their business. These webcasts are meant to be fun, informative, and casual. We want to share with you the stories behind the business, what makes the owner or operator passionate about opening their doors each day. Sometimes the story behind why they started the business is the real inspiration. So about the time that you're going for that third or fourth cup of coffee in the morning, take a break and join us to learn about another great business located right here in Meridian. With the last minute reschedule yesterday, we reached out to one of our new partners this year and asked if she could feature her business on today's episode. Joining me today on this episode of Business Buzz is Marlene Robinson. Hi, Marlene.
Hey, Sean. Nice to see you.
Yeah. So welcome, Marlene, to Business Buzz. Marlene has a company that we turned to in April here at the Chamber when we were gearing things up for our Keep Meridian Healthy and Open for Business campaign. Marlene owns Miig Enterprises. She is an event producer and organizer. She's been instrumental in helping the Meridian Chamber with a lot of our virtual events and programs, and that she's helped us produce in the last 6 months. So, Marlene, how long have you been producing events?
Oh gosh, it kind of feels like a lifetime, but I've been doing it professionally for about 4 years now. When I first moved to Idaho, I was looking for community. I was looking for connection, and it very naturally came out of my desire to find a community and connect people. So I joined the women's ministry leadership team at my church and started creating events and speaker series and retreats and Bible studies, and started combining and connecting like-minded people in our community. And it quickly grew into large-scale events. I rented out the Botanical Gardens, and then I rented out Boise Center on the Grove. And then people started hiring me to produce their events because they saw the work that I had been doing. But honestly, this stems back to my childhood. I was just that kid in the neighborhood that was constantly trying to get everyone together for a talent show or a play or a bake sale or a lemonade stand. I was always wanting to connect my community and honestly showcase the talents of the people that I knew. So this has just been a very natural outcropping, I guess, of my desire to be with and connect community and people.
So, Marlene, that sounds great. And I know from working with you, you're extremely talented, organized, and do a lot of things. But how had COVID impacted your ability to do live events recently?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was a major hit. Before COVID came, I had my own event center, and I was producing events, and I had a booked solid schedule, and I was doing multiple events a week and on weekends. And my very last event was on March 15th. And we had posted pictures on social media, and we got a lot of public outrage. Basically, people were saying, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. How dare you shut it down? And I realized at that point that I did need to be part of the solution. So I shut down my event center. And when you don't have events that are generating revenue, you can't pay the lease. So I had to let my space go. I sold everything, and I really needed to pivot and figure out how I was going to use my passion and gifting and talent to continue to serve my community. And honestly, the IWBC was very instrumental in helping me find that pivot. They helped me get the PPP. They helped connect me with you, the Meridian Chamber of Commerce, and they also gave me a mentor. And in meeting with that mentor, he asked me the most simple question that no one has ever asked me before, and that was, why don't you teach people how to do what you do? And at first I thought, well, do people want to know how to do what I do? So I took his challenge. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I will teach people how to do what I do. And I created a course curriculum. I took about 45 days, went through an intensive training program, invested about 90 hours of my time to pull together the expert's guide to producing outstanding events. And in this guide, there are a few different modules that include video training, downloadable worksheets, all the tools and templates that I have refined and mastered over a lifetime of creating events. That help with everything from social media scheduling and posting, how to sell your tickets, how to market internally if you're an organization, all of the timeline sheets and keeping your speaker flow organized, managing your AV, how to negotiate hotel and convention center contracts, how to save money, and how to create some of the best swag there is out there. So this is what I spent my time doing based on his simple question of, why don't you teach people how to do what you do? So this is what I've done. And anybody who logs into my website at miigenterprises.com gets to download this 10 tips to producing outstanding events. This is free to anyone. If you just do these 10 things in your event, it will be 10 times better than it would have been if you don't do these 10 things.
Sorry about that. I forgot to silence my phone.
People are trying to find you.
Everything's interrupting. You were worried about someone knocking on your door and my phone rang.
I know.
Marlene, you've been just excellent to work with here at the Chamber as a contract worker, helping us with our events and things. Who do you think benefits the most from buying your training program and kind of taking your lead of these type of things?
Yeah, that's a great question. It really is going to be great for anybody who is currently an event coordinator or an event manager. Not necessarily things like weddings and celebrations, but more like workshops, seminars, summits, conferences, corporations who have to put on things like national sales meetings, national marketing meetings, any educational institution who has to gather their student body, any religious institution that is responsible for gathering and connecting community, really any community resource organization, or people who have a coaching program or a book launch or just a message to share with the world. My guide will give them every tool, trick, technique, and behind the scenes tips to get it done with excellence.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed working with you and look forward to continuing to work with you on some projects that we've got coming up. Many of you may have not even met Marlene yet because of the COVID response and stuff. But those of you that came out to our golf tournament did get to see Marlene in action. So, Marlene helped us with the golf tournament, and she was wonderful to work with and took a huge burden off of Michelle and I's workload and helping pull that event off. So, and it turned out to be a very successful event, and one that we were able to execute in a safe, healthy, guideline following manner.
Yes, I really established some really cool guidelines for doing events COVID compliant. And that's some of the materials that I share in my expert's guide is how to do this COVID compliant, because we still can gather, we just have to do it differently. So those are some of the tools that I learned by working with you.
Well, we appreciate everything you've done for the Chamber. And Marlene, thank you for joining us today on Business Buzz. And thank you for helping with all of our Chamber events, both live and virtual. Be sure and support our Chamber members. Contact Marlene if you're looking for an event to plan, or if you're wanting to learn from Marlene's years of experience. So thank you again, Marlene, for joining us.
Thanks, Sean. Bye.
And please join us this Thursday as we take you to the Children's Museum. The Children's Museum is a wonderful place right here in Meridian with a mission to bring children, families, and community together to engage in learning through creative play. So in the meantime, please do your part to keep Meridian healthy and open for business.